test. Your objection is more with his previous statement that they can determine whether or not somebody is intoxicated. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. How do you respond to that?
Your Honor, the test, although he stated can show that someone is drunk, it is not in his opinion to make the actual assumption that the defendant is actually drunk. It only allows him to further his investigation and turn the defendant over to a doctor who can actually run a test to perform the BX test.
All right, here's how I'm going to roll. We're going to go back in front of the presence of the jury, and I'm going to allow you to ask him about the results again, but you need to make sure that he gives the answer in the form of his opinion, not stating a fact as to the outcome, but rather his observation, his opinion. All right, so in part your motion is sustained, and in part it's overruled.
Well, motion to strike any portion of the answer you gave, Your Honor.
Yeah, continue on.
Officer Foster, were you able to make conclusions from the 3 field sobriety tests?
Well, from the 3 field sobriety tests, which the test that I administered, in my professional opinion, I was able to determine that the defendant was, by the test, they failed, and that allowed me to take.
Objection, Your Honor.
Officer Foster, my question, were you able to?
No, it was overruled.
You want me to just-
Listen to the ruling.
Officer Foster, in order to continue your investigation, did you take any pictures in order to continue your investigation? Did you even take any pictures?
Yes, I did. I actually brought along the demonstrative with me to show the court.
Could you please stand up and make use of the demonstrative?
You don't mind if I put my glasses to you? If I can get them out my check. My apologies, Your Honor. Well,
Officer Foster, what is this?
this is actually the vehicle, the hood of the vehicle when it impacted the utility pole.
Is this an accurate picture of the car crash?
Yes, it is.
Does it appear to be altered or tampered with in any way?
No, it doesn't.
And did you take this picture yourself?
Yes, I did.
Now, Officer Foster, in order to also continue your investigation, you took several other pictures.
Yes, I did.
Were these pictures also an accurate depiction of the car accident?
Yes, it was.
And these pictures all helped you further your investigation?
Yes, it did.
And did this investigation include your fatal crash analysis?
Yes, it did.
Officer Foster, if you could take a seat. Officer Foster, how did you come to the conclusions of your fatal crash analysis?
Well, using the combined speed from the Windsor and Strasburg article, I was able to calculate the speed of the vehicle when it exited the road and upon impact.
Now, did you use standard methods and principles in your field to come to these conclusions?
Yes, I did.
And did you have sufficient facts and data?
Yes, I did.
And did you apply the standard methods and principles to the facts and data of this case?
Yes, I did.
Now, what were your overall conclusions of the fatal crash analysis?
Objection. The question calls for improper opinion.
I would actually say that the question is pretty vague because I have no idea what the officer is going to respond, and it would be hard to prepare as defense counsel. But what particular opinion are you worried he's going to give?
Any opinion he gives about his conclusion on the crash.
Are you saying that he's not qualified as an expert to give opinions about it?
I'm
right?
saying specifically he did not have reliable principles and methods to apply to this case. If allowed to go into board matter, I can show this, Your Honor.
Pretty thorough foundation's been laid so far, but I'd be interested to see, so I'm going to allow you to go into board matter. Timekeeper, pause the direct examination time and then begin to count the time against opposing counsel's cross-examination. And you may proceed when you're ready.
May I proceed, Your Honor? Officer Foster, you just stated that you used a combined speed formula to come to your conclusions about the crash. Is that correct?
Yes,
One of the components of this combined speed formula is a drag factor. Is that not correct?
that's true.
Now, to determine a drag factor, you in fact used a drag sled, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Now, are you familiar with the article Vehicle Accident Reconstruction of Primer?
Yes, I am.
And you relied on this article when coming to your conclusions?
Yes, I did.
You believe it and only it is wholly accurate,
Yes, I did.
and it is the only thing you used when making your conclusions.
Yes, it is.
Now, you are aware that drag sleds have not been proven to show an accurate drag factor. Is that not true?
This is the formula I use and prefer, and it has been reliable. Other professionals and other people in this profession also use the same thing that I use.
Officer Foster, I'm not asking you about the formula. I'm asking you about the drag sled. Isn't it true that there has been no research which shows it can actually determine an accurate drag factor?
Are you saying there's no research?
The research is inconclusive as to whether or not it shows an accurate drag factor. Yes or no?
This formula, this is what I use. This is why I believe is reliable. This is why I've used for years, and this is why I will continue using when I leave this case.
Officer Foster, correcting you back to my question. The research is inconclusive on whether or not drag sleds can accurately determine a drag factor. Yes or no?
Well, if it's questionable things in every type of procedure, then yeah, I'll say so.
So that would be a yes, that drag sleds cannot determine an accurate drag factor?
We can also determine that it's not Santa Claus, but we, no, so if that's what you
Is that a yes, Officer Foster?
yeah.
Your Honor,
All right, at this time, I would renew my objection. He just testified that one of the components of the speed formula he used has no research to validate the drag factor he used. Therefore, it is not a reliable principle or method and cannot be used to make any formal scientific conclusion in his testimony.
All right. Timekeeper, stop the time for cross. Do you have a response? All right. As I understand,
Your Honor, the research he has used it for several years. Other officers deem it usable as well, and therefore, since it's kind of standard in his field, I believe that it should be admissible.
all right. So basically, while there may be parts of it that there is debate on scientifically, the overall principle in general is the standard test used and relied upon. Therefore, I will allow him to give his opinion, but you certainly can attack the underlying foundations and the weaknesses in the issues on cross-examination to bring that, to bring those doubts before the jury. So, overruled, and you can restart your direct. Or continue, not restart.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Foster, what did you base your conclusions on?
Base my conclusions on the combined speed formula using the incident Strasbourg article. And from that, I was able to calculate the speed when the vehicle exited the road and upon impact.
And what were those conclusions?
My conclusions were that the vehicle exited the road at 66 miles per hour. It hit upon impact at 45 miles per hour during inclement weather on a dangerous stretch of road where the speed limit is 35 miles per hour.
Officer Foster, in your professional opinion, what caused the fatal car crash on September 25th, 2010?
Excessive reckless speed.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Now, proceed, Your Honor. Officer Foster, arriving on scene, this was not the first time you'd actually seen this car that night, is it?
That's true. I did. I did see the vehicle coming down the road. I was aware that it was a 2009 white Chevrolet Impala and did belong to one of the Sullivans.
That's right, you were posted on Canyon Road that evening, were you not?
Yeah, I started my patrol around 11 p.m. And you know, my buddy, he called in sick with the Friday night flu. And so I was working that patrol area of myself. But yeah, I was posted on Canyon Road.
And you were working that road because you wanted to make sure no one was driving recklessly on that road. Is that not true?
That's true. That's generally what our job is. I actually did stop another car while I was out there. This old man, Norris Avenue.
Objection, Your Honor, he's giving a non-responsive.
And I will certainly rule, if you can, attempt to control him without Mitch's help. You can politely, interrupt him if you need to. And if it continues, certainly object again, and then I will instruct the witness.
May I proceed? Now, as you stated, you knew that car, the white Chevrolet Impala, belonged to the Sullivan family. Is that not true?
That's true. They do have a tag that says Sullivan 3. That's why I'm aware that was one of the vehicles.
And in fact, you noticed it swerved when you first saw it, didn't you?
I did, but I didn't think much of it was raining. I definitely didn't think much of it swerved then. Yeah.
That's right. You just thought the car might be hydroplaning. Isn't that true?
That's true.
And you'd say if you thought that driver should have been off the road, you would have done something about it right then, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. If I thought they should have been off the road, I would have done something right then. But I also did think about following the vehicle, but that's when I got another radio call stating that another officer needed some backup. So that's why I didn't pull the vehicle over.
That's right. So you didn't pull the vehicle over, you let it continue.
Yes, that's because I got a radio request that they need another officer elsewhere.
Now, you talked to Ms. Dawson on the scene of the accident. Isn't that true?
I did.
And it wasn't actually until she mentioned the quote you said earlier, needing another drink, that you noticed her slurring her words. Is that true?
That's true, but with the craziness of the activity, somebody had just died with the wreck and trying to control traffic and trying to, me being the only person out there at that time, trying to gain control of the situation. No, I didn't pay too much attention.
So, Officer Foster, you said all that just to say, yes, you didn't notice until right then that she was slurring her words.
Yes, that's true.
But in fact, you had been carrying on a conversation with the defendant prior to this, had you not?
Have I been? It wasn't an intense conversation.
But you had been talking to the defendant.
Yes.
Now, you said you called Officer Smith, or you called Dr. Smith, Mr. Smith, whoever at the police station.
It's Dr. Averson, yes.
You called them before you actually did any tests on Ms. Dawson. Isn't that true?
Yes, that's true.
You called to make sure she'd be at the station.
Yeah, I'll make sure that he'll be at the station, right?
Because you were already planning on taking Miss Dawson into the station, weren't you?
No, of course, we have to make sure somebody's there. No, I was calling to make sure if somebody's there, I performed the test.
Right. So she could perform the test on Miss Dawson. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I did perform some tests on Ms. Dawson.
Well, you were calling Miss Smith to make sure she'd be there to perform a test on Miss Dawson, correct?
Yeah, that's the second part of the investigation, true.
So yes, you were already planning on taking Miss Dawson into the station.
If she passed the test, no, I wouldn't.
Well, let's talk about those tests. The district attorney, Ms. Ryan Sullivan, arrived on scene. Is that true?
Yeah, she did come out there, the district attorney, what was the name?
Her name is Ms. Ryan Sullivan.
Right, yeah. No, she was out there.
And she actually told you that
Objection, Your Honor. Your second.
Your Honor, I'm not offering these statements for the truth of the matter asserted, but simply for their effect on the listener.
All right, well, I don't know what the statement is, so do you have an offer of proof as to what statement you're about to offer and what the witness may say?
Yes. The statement is going to be that she is going to make